Yikes. Man, it says I'm offline. Do I need to restart? Oh, the game crashed too. Oh man, everything. Do I have internet right now? I do. Okay, then let me reopen Final Fantasy. My stream back. The stream's back. I think. Okay, hello? Oh, man. Okay. I think we're back. I hope this is a part of the same recording. I won't know. Actually, I can check right now. Nope. It split it. Dang it. Okay. Well, I'm live. Again. Yikes. Oh, no, don't do that. No. No, please. I don't want to be spoiled. Okay. Logging back in. I don't know what happened. I don't know why the internet did that. It didn't even really go out on my computer. It's like it had a very brief, a super brief moment of just not being on. If this is really the beginning of the next episode, hi, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, the last one. The last episode, or not episode, I guess half. I don't really know what to say. I lost internet. It restarted the stream, so now they're two separate VODs. It's probably going to end up being two separate VOD videos as well, just because I don't really edit. I just kind of go straight from Twitch to YouTube, which you can do. And yeah. This is Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome back. If this is for some reason where you're starting, hi. Give me a follow and like and subscribe on the VOD channel if you're watching there. Follow me on Twitch and on Twitter so you can stay updated of when I go live. So in a case like this, you can be here when it happens, however unfortunate the happenings may be. We're going to continue right where we left off. If you want to watch what I did earlier in the stream, just watch the previous VOD, the one that's right before this. Yeah. I don't know why it did that, and we're going to continue. I sure hope that the, anybody who was watching tunes back in. I don't know why it did that, so... Oh, man. Okay. I read this line. I don't know if you actually heard this, so I'm going to read it again. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. And then that is where my game basically crashed. So, there we go. Continuing on. We should teleport. Where are these? Oh, I never got those, huh? Okay, Wonder Square West? Is this right? Okay, that's it. Hello, Nanamo. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Mandeville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? Ah, there he is. My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. When the Sultana herself comes calling, there's no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion, would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is, stop. Taxing Uldal's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have the housing and employment, but what profit is there in Udal for this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Garabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Udal's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you sending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill? Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must also promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interest of the people of Uldal. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Mandeville. I thank you for your candor. Ah, itchy nose again. Ah. Another quest. The Sultana's Resolve. Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on.
Paul, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Alanor Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by an aetheryte in Uldar. A fair journey to you, Call, and a swift one, if you please.
Oh boy, that's a long distance away. And it's not that expensive because I'm in a part of a free company. Let's go. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd be starved for coin. The Ruby Bazaar. Greetings on it, sir. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? Hello, Hancock. Oh, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon? Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Uldar? My dear Call, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure. I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for such a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garter robe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting with you for you, say, at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitable neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Very well, Call, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Really? You're gonna have me go to... Really? Really? That's what you're gonna do? I'm using a Vesper Day thing. I don't care. I'll use 2. I wonder what she's gonna think of this. Ah, there she is. Ah!
Welcome back, Call. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monitress at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Uldar effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming.
Yikes. That's a yikes from me. Oh hey, it teleported us.
So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had an occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
They changed his voice, and we haven't heard it since ARR. Huh.
You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Oh.
There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say, I am most eager to hear your proposal.
I hope it's one in which you lose money, but of course, we'll see.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Huh, I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Ooh. So, Alagranja has the mines, which had the monsters, which we've cleared, and Uldar has the mining company, which could technically work. Alagiri had... Oh, what was it Alagiri had? I don't remember Alagiri. The Saltery, obviously, the lock is just salt. There's just near infinite supply of it. But it's really close to the capital. So... I wonder. I'm gonna say the Saltery. Because I don't remember seeing... I mean, the mines... The quarry. Sorry, the quarry of Alagranja is... man. This is interesting. I think all three are gonna end up being used, so I'll say the Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, And in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Very nice.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Call. I could not have done it without you.
Ooh, that one.
Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan.
Ooh, excuse me.
If I could prevail upon you one more time, Call, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiation to Commander Hex on your return to Alamigo.
Okay.
My thanks again. Together, we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the people of Alamigo and Udal both.
To the Alamigan Corridor. Interesting. Wow, I can't believe it's more gil to travel from Ul'dah to the Alamigan Corridor than it is to travel from Ul'dah to Kugane. I guess that's the power of having a favorited location and having things be cheaper.
Call, you're back. With Anonimo. Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Rabon says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uldah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphanote, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though. We need to discuss this proposal with the Sultry's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Call? I might need you to fill in the details.
Then I shall come as well. Should Watt refuse to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful.
Nice. Very good. Very good stuff happening. Very cool. And the Sultry is straight ahead, I believe. Yeah, look, like this is a whole massive just lake of salt. Well, lock of salt, but yeah, it's... This is by far the one that has the most to offer in comparison to the other ones, which kinda don't. Like, I know there was something about the mines in Ala Granja, but that was just one part of the quest. I do wonder what would happen if you picked the other ones. Does it actually, like, differ? What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to old Watts this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Sultry, Grandad. Call, tell him about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or hands to put the place back to how it was, but sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cut the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Grandad, we'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she's assigned me to the lock if I asked. We'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad. Truly, I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with the blade of yours? I've been training, aye, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Call? Think you could cast an eye over me for a few of the local beasties? Think you can cast an eye over the few of the local beasties to teach me how to deal with them? Sure. Let's not waste any time, then. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me what exactly is required to restore the Sultry to its former glory. Good hunting. Okay, give me one moment. I need to answer something. Yeah, it's this area that has such a large... Like, it's just a very loud song. And it doesn't, like, stop. It's just this loud constantly. Alright. Right then, Cole. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look on those pests. Once you've gotten their measure, you can tell me what to do, and I'll see how well I get on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. The more you move the camera as well as... You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a yabby and inspect it with the left click. Oh, interesting. We're back here. Learn more about the yabby. What is it? Discover a yabby's weak point. What? I'm confused. Discover a Yabby's weak. I'm clicking on it. I'm executing observe. But I'm at a loss here. I don't understand. I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? It's face. No. It's leg. It's leg. It's tail. It's tail. It's tail. It's belly. What the heck? What? Okay, I gotta look this up. Because this is awful. Oh, what the? That's ridiculous. Its jaw, really? Jeez. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Oh. Looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shell's like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. Hey. Look at my man go. Hey, he got it. Okay. Thanks, Call. I did just as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Give me a moment. I realized I left something somewhere. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here. Just give me a moment. Okay. Alright. Where am I going? Going this way. I think I can handle the yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Alright, so doing the same thing. Oh, this thing. This thing's, weird looking. Well, let's zoom in. Oh, the eye. Kind of figured. I looked at it and I was like, that looks like just a big rock except for its eye. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the crow. Destroy the core within its brow. It's inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. Let's go. Huh. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator Valamigo watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Call. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Sultry before Granddad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed by Yabi hatchlings. I want to fight this thing, but I think it's probably a hunt, and if I don't accept that hunt, I might not get the credit for it, so I'm not gonna do it. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself. After a bit of instruction from Call here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late, I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Sultry ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Measure of his reach. And a weapon coffer. Ooh, a weapon coffer. I level 370? Oh, it's not going to be better than our scythe. I guess it couldn't be our scythe either way. So we'll accept it for a Dragoon. Because it'll definitely be a better Dragoon weapon.
It seems Whisker has the Sultry's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt, and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings.
Message from General Din. Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you all at your earliest convenience.
Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ulzar. You should go.
General Din asks that you wait for him by the main gate in Alamegan Quarter. My apologies again, sir. Fare you well. Okay. To the Alamegan Quarter. Which is this way.
Bum 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 bum.
All right, here we are. Ooh, the night sky.
Apologies for the wait.
Oh, voice acting.
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
Oh?
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
These two
well,
again.
It would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
They are not Alamigan. Laurentis has had 3 second chances. And Yu Hase is just a syndicate wannabe. But execution is not the answer.
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
I gotta say, a lot of these choices have become a lot more difficult to make as of late.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
It's not your fault.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father,
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Aw. But it's true. He made a home in Ul'dah, and he actually calls it home. Man, I love Raban. He's so goated. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now, that's settled. Arnvald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta have arrived at the main gate, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Kaliana, the ones that summon the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help.
An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kaliana would refuse it out of hand.
We'd best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Gaul, you've dealt with these Kaliana before. I'll have you at my side. Uh-oh.